Do you think mankind can build space apartments on Moon and Mars?
So do we think we can be living on the Moon and Mars? Yes, absolutely. I mean, we've proven that people can live in space in microgravity for quite some time in a closed environment. I think we, like I said, our next step is going to the Moon. However, we need to learn how to be able to stay there for a longer period of time rather than the Apollo missions, which were there for just days. So we're using the space station as a stepping stone to be able to do that. And I think we'll be able to understand how to even grow our own food there, which we'll need to do. It'll be a little bit of a gravity environment. We'll have to do spacewalks. We'll have to be able to build things while we're there. We'll have to be able to breathe oxygen. So all of these things we're working on with the International Space Station will take that technology to the Moon. And then from the Moon, we'll take that, like I said, that technology to Mars. I think we can do it. I look at this room, I look at a lot of things a little bit differently now that I have been in space. I look at how much room there is above us and how fun it would be to, jump off this platform and fly to the back. It's just an example of thinking a little bit differently. And it makes you solve problems differently. It makes your brain stimulated and try to understand a different environment and how to solve problems. So I think that is the biggest key, is we're learning new technology. We're forcing ourselves out of this 2D plane that we live on, the crust of the Earth, into looking at things upside down and sideways, and maybe that will help us solve a lot of the problems today.
Ma'am, if you get an opportunity to take one special person in space,
then who would it be?
Oh, wow, that's a tough question. I think I would choose anyone who had any animosity towards somebody else, because once you get up into space and you look down at the planet, I think all that feeling of dislike for anybody else would just go away, because you would see how beautiful and peaceful our planet is. And it's, like I mentioned before, it's hard to imagine any people arguing, not to mention fighting on the Earth.
Science and technology have developed so much now, and the life of man is risky when he goes to this space. And robots can do your work. They can also do research on this space. Then why are you people going over there?
Well, I think humans in space is a necessity. When we have robots on Mars like we do right now, they're not making decisions. That decision, when they're going to the next place, has to come back to Earth, and then they have people interacting to then make the decision. They also don't have all of the knowledge as they just look around and decide what will be the next logical step to do, what would be the next thing that would lead to the next question. And humans there to make those judgment calls, to make those decisions, is going to have to happen. It's also how we're going to relay what we see and feel back to Earth. We don't get a feeling from those robots. We only see what in their limited view, what they see. I think a person being on Mars and telling people back on Earth what they're seeing, what they're feeling, will get people enthralled and interested, a lot more than a robot.
Ma'am, what is your message to the women of India?
I don't want to slight the men in this room, of course, but I think for the women of India, I think sort of along the same lines as the boundaries. Don't think that those boundaries are real. If you feel that there's more opportunities for men, look back at yourself and understand who's giving you those limitations. Probably you're giving yourself those limitations. Maybe the people around you are giving you those limitations, but those are all in people's brains. It's all a perception. It's not real. So I think they can do anything that they would like to do.